Welcome to Unlocked, the podcast where we explore the technologies and trends that are reshaping our digital world. I am your host, Shahid Sharif, and today we are diving into one of the most exciting transformations happening in technology right now, the AI coding revolution. Now, whether you are a seasoned developer, a business leader, or someone who simply uses technology every day, this episode is going to change how you think about software development. We are living through what I believe is the most significant shift in how software gets built since the invention of the computer itself. Let me paint a picture. Imagine if you could sit down with a computer and simply describe what you want it to do in plain English and watch as it writes the code for you. Imagine if debugging, that frustrating process of finding and fixing errors, became as simple as having a conversation. Well, that future is not coming. It is here, right now. But before we dive into the tools that are making this possible, let me give you some context. For decades, writing software has been like learning a foreign language. Actually, many foreign languages. Developers had to master complex syntax, memorize countless commands, and spend years building the expertise needed to create even simple applications. This created what we call a digital divide, a gap between those who could build technology and those who could only use it. But artificial intelligence is changing that equation completely. Today, we have tools that can understand what you want to build and help you create it, regardless of your technical background. These are not just fancy autocomplete features, these are intelligent assistants that can reason about code, understand business logic, and even debug complex problems. Let me walk you through some of the most game-changing tools that are available right now. First, let's talk about GitHub Copilot, which has become the gold standard for AI coding assistance. Think of Copilot as having an experienced programmer sitting right next to you, ready to help you at any moment. As you type, it suggests not just the next word, but the entire functions, complete solutions to problems you are trying to solve. Here is what makes this remarkable. Copilot has been trained on billions of lines of code from across the internet. It understands patterns, best practices, and can even translate between different programming languages. A developer recently told me that Copilot helped him solve in 5 minutes what would have taken them hours of searching through documentation. But here is where it gets really interesting for non-technical folks. These AI assistants are not just making existing developers more productive, they are making it possible for people with no programming background to create sophisticated applications. Take Cursor for example. This is what we call an AI-first development environment. Instead of adding AI features to traditional coding tools, Cursor was built from ground up with AI at its core. You can literally describe what you want your application to do in everyday language and watch as it generates a code for you. I witnessed a marketing manager use Cursor to build a customer feedback dashboard in less than an hour. She simply described what she needed. I want to collect customer ratings, display them in charts, and send email alerts when ratings drop below a certain threshold. The AI understood her requirements and built the entire application. This is what we mean when we talk about democratizing software development. We are breaking down the barriers that have kept non-technical people from creating their own solutions. Now let us talk about some of the more specialized tools that are pushing boundaries even further. Claude Code, for instance, brings AI assistance directly to the command line. That is a text-based interface that system administrators and developers use for complex tasks. What makes Claude Code fascinating is that it can understand and automate entire workflows. You might say, open quotes, deploy my application to the cloud with automatic scaling and backup systems, close quotes, and it will generate all the necessary commands and configurations. Tasks that once required deep expertise in multiple systems can now be accomplished through conversation. Then there is Replit, which is revolutionizing how we think about collaborative development. Imagine Google Docs, but for writing code. Multiple people can work on the same project simultaneously from anywhere in the world without installing any software. The AI assists everyone in real time, making suggestions and catching errors as they work. For those of you in business leadership roles, this transformation has profound implications. We are seeing the emergence of what we call low-code and no-code platforms, tools that allow people to build applications without traditional programming. These platforms are being supercharged by AI. Instead of dragging and dropping components to build application, you can now describe what your business process is and watch as the AI creates the entire workflow for you. A small business owner recently used one of these platforms to create a complete inventory management system in a single afternoon. The AI understood concepts like reorder points, supply relationships, and seasonal demand patterns without any technical configuration required. This is not just about making existing processes faster. It is about enabling innovation from unexpected places. When anyone can turn an idea into a working application, we unlock creativity and problem-solving potential that was previously trapped by technical barriers. But I want to be honest with you about the challenges we are facing. This technology is evolving so rapidly that tools and capabilities are changing on a weekly and daily basis. Something that is cutting edge today might be obsolete in 6 months. There are also quality and security concerns. AI-generated code can contain subtle bugs or security vulnerabilities that might not immediately be apparent. We are learning that human oversight and testing remain absolutely critical. Additionally, there is a learning curve involved in working effectively with these AI assistants. The most successful users are those who learn how to communicate clearly with AI systems, how to ask the right questions, how to provide proper context, and how to evaluate the results. Looking ahead, I believe we are just at the beginning of this transformation. The tools we have today are impressive, but they are primitive compared to what is coming. We are moving toward a future where the boundary between human intention and software implementation becomes increasingly seamless. Imagine AI assistants that can understand your business model, your customers, and your goals, and then suggest and implement solutions you never would have thought of. We are talking about AI that can not only write code, but can architect entire systems, optimize for performance, and even predict future needs. For businesses, this means faster innovation cycles, lower development costs, and the ability to respond quickly to market changes. For individuals, it means the power to solve problems and create solutions without depending on technical specialists. So what should you do with this information? If you are in a technical role, start experimenting with these tools now. The developers who learn to work effectively with AI assistants will have a significant advantage in the coming years. If you are in a business role, consider how these tools might eliminate bottlenecks in your organization. What problems could your team solve if they did not have to wait for IT resources? What innovations might emerge if your subject matter experts could build their own solutions? And if you are simply curious about technology, I encourage you to try some of these platforms yourself. Many offer free tiers that let you experiment with building simple applications. You might discover that you have more creative and problem-solving potential than you realized. The AI coding revolution is not just changing how software gets built, it is changing who gets to build it. We are entering an era where good ideas and clear thinking matter more than technical expertise, where innovation can come from anywhere, and where the tools of creation are becoming accessible to everyone. This is Shahid Sharif with Unlocked. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the technologies that are reshaping our world. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the future is not something that happens to us, it is something we create.